everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, I'm Bree, and for me, true crime isn't just entertainment. My Pawpaw Peanut was murdered, and his case remains unsolved to this day. That's why on this channel, we focus on the victims, their stories, and making sure they're never forgotten. There are some cases where you can almost pinpoint the exact moment that everything went wrong. And then there are cases like this one, where even after you know the ending, you still can't figure out when the nightmare actually began. This story takes place in Brandon, Mississippi, in a city in Rankin County, just east of Jackson. It's a small community of roughly 25,000 people, often described as one of the safer and more desirable places to live in Mississippi. It's the kind of town where life moves quietly, where people recognize each other at the grocery store, where nothing bad ever feels like it's going to happen until it does. But just days after Christmas in 2024, one quiet neighborhood would become the center of a heartbreaking and deeply unsettling case. That morning, the neighborhood looked no different than any other winter day in Mississippi. Holiday decorations still lit up front yards. The air was still, no urgency, no warning signs, and yet inside one of those homes, something irreversible had already unfolded. By the time the sun fully rose, authorities would be called to the deaths of 30-year-old Jennifer Sheffield and her husband, 40-year-old Brandon Sheffield. And what makes this case so difficult to process is how ordinary everything seemed only weeks before. Because Jennifer had been sharing glimpses of her life online, a life that on the surface looked like it was shifting into a new beginning, talking about independence, talking about becoming a newly single mother. She smiled in videos, she laughed, she sounded hopeful. Which is why when people learned what happened inside that house, they couldn't stop asking the same question. What was happening behind closed doors that no one could see? Not much is publicly clear about exactly when Jennifer and Brandon got married, but we do know they shared a family together and were raising two daughters, Gracie and Kylie, who Brandon had from a previous relationship. On paper, they look like any other family trying to build a life together. 40-year-old Brandon Sheffield was born September 22, 1984 in Mobile, Alabama. His family described him as a man who loved working on cars, fishing, playing disc golf, and cheering on Alabama football. He was known for his humor and for being someone who tried to keep people smiling. They said he was a devoted father who cherished his daughters, and that spending time with his family is what truly made him happy. And that's part of what makes this case so difficult to process, because to the people around him, Brandon did not appear to be someone capable of unimaginable violence. Jennifer Sheffield was born on September 9, 1994. Friends and family described Jennifer as a beautiful, radiant spirit who genuinely cared about helping others. She had a deep love for God, for traveling, for laughter, and for the people closest to her. Jennifer earned a Master of Science degree in biology, medical science, and a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry. She was extremely intelligent. She was also working as an ER nurse at the Mississippi Medical Center while pursuing her master's degree at Mississippi College. She planned to further her education to become a doctor. She wasn't just ambitious. She was actively building a future in medicine while working in one of the most high-pressure environments imaginable. On top of everything else, she was a mother first. She absolutely loved being a mother to Brandon's two daughters. They were her world. But behind the scenes, Jennifer's life was changing rapidly because after years of marriage, she and Brandon were divorcing. Now, usually when people hear divorce in a true crime case, they immediately imagine fighting or obvious warning signs, but that's what makes this story so unsettling. According to Jennifer herself, things seemed okay. Only weeks before her death, Jennifer posted a TikTok discussing the divorce, and watching it now honestly feels eerie because she sounds hopeful. Not terrified, not angry, not bitter, but hopeful.
So, about to be a newly single mom, and I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though, like really and truly, like we're working together, everything's great, we're splitting everything down the middle, like, you know, everything is good. It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind, and I really appreciate that. However, you know, I'm gonna be on my own, single income right now, and he will be helping with her, he will be supporting her, you know, so essentially, like, I'm really thankful for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her. However, I will be on a very limited income, with buying a new house and, you know, paying a mortgage and all that stuff. So I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So if you have any tips, saving money, making money, anything like that, like, I would really appreciate it. Like, you know, coffee at home, you know, I take caffeine pills, I do my own hair, nails, everything. Like, I do all that. So yeah, if you just have any tips, like, I would really appreciate it, because, like, I'm a little scared right now.
If you watch the video without knowing the ending, you would probably think this was simply a woman entering a new chapter of her life. But sometimes people only show the parts of life they themselves are trying to believe. And sometimes the most dangerous moments happen quietly, not during screaming matches, not during public breakdowns, but in silence. As Christmas approached, everything from the outside appeared relatively normal. There were no public signs that anything catastrophic was about to happen. Friends later said they never imagined Jennifer was in danger, which makes what happened next feel even more impossible to process. Because on the morning of December 28th, Jennifer's family became concerned when they couldn't get a hold of her. At first, maybe it didn't seem alarming. People sleep in, phones die, life gets busy, but eventually the silence started to feel wrong. They called 911 for a welfare check. Police arrived shortly afterward, and what they found inside the home began to reveal a much darker reality. Crime scene tape surrounded the house as neighbors watched investigators move in and out for hours. And slowly, the truth of what happened inside began to emerge. It was determined by authorities that Jennifer had been killed inside the home, and that Brandon was also found dead from what investigators believed was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, an apparent murder-suicide. Suddenly, everything people thought they understood about the situation became much darker, because only weeks earlier, Jennifer had been publicly talking about moving forward peacefully, about co-parenting, about starting over, about rebuilding her life, which is why this case sits so heavily with so many people. There were no clear warning signs. Friends later admitted they were completely blindsided. They said Brandon had always appeared loving towards Jennifer and described the couple as normal from the outside. And I think that's what unsettles people so deeply about this story. Sometimes there isn't one giant public explosion before tragedy happens. Sometimes the cracks stay hidden until it's far too late. When police released more information, people flooded Jennifer's old TikTok videos and social media posts. And honestly, it's heartbreaking to watch them now, because you're hearing someone talk about her future without realizing she only had days left to live. In the days after Jennifer and Brandon's deaths, another detail surrounding the case sparked intense reactions online. The families chose to hold a joint funeral for both Jennifer and Brandon, and almost immediately people became divided over it. Some understood the decision, especially considering the children involved and the complicated reality of grieving two people at once. But others were deeply disturbed by the idea that Jennifer would be memorialized beside the man authorities say took her life. Online, many people expressed outrage. Some commented that even in death, Jennifer couldn't fully escape the person tied to her final moments. Others felt the joint service blurred the line between victim and perpetrator in a case involving domestic violence. And honestly, it opened up a much larger conversation that we see happen after cases like this. How do families grieve when tragedy destroys everyone involved? Because while Jennifer's loved ones were mourning a woman they adored, Brandon's family was also grieving someone they never believed capable of this. And that emotional conflict is part of what makes these situations so painful and complicated. I think one of the hardest parts of this case is realizing Jennifer thought she still had time. Time to finish school, time to raise her daughters, time to rebuild her life and become the person she was working so hard to be. But instead, her story ended inside that house on Toulon Street. And now two little girls are left growing up without either parent. And that's what makes this case feel so unbearably tragic. Not just how it ended, but how close Jennifer was to having a completely different life. Cases like this leave behind so many unanswered emotional questions. What was happening inside Brandon's mind during those final weeks? Was there tension nobody else could see? Did Jennifer truly believe everything was okay? We may never fully know, but what we do know is that Jennifer Sheffield was deeply loved, and the life she was building for herself mattered. It also reminds us how important it is to take emotional instability, control, and major life transitions seriously. I think one of the most unsettling things about this case is how ordinary it looked from the outside. There weren't obvious signs visible to everyone around them. No dramatic unraveling, no public warning. And that matters when we talk about domestic violence. Not every dangerous relationship looks chaotic. Sometimes it hides inside routines, family photos, and conversations about moving forward. Sometimes people stay hopeful because they genuinely believe things will improve. Sometimes they're protecting their children from conflict. And sometimes the people closest to them never see what's building underneath the surface. Especially during separations or divorces, when things can become most unpredictable. If there's anything to take away from this case, maybe it's this. Check on people. Listen when someone says they're going through a major life transition. And don't assume peace on the outside means peace on the inside. Because sometimes the hardest battles are the ones no one ever sees. And maybe that's what makes this case so haunting. Not just about what happened inside that house, but how normal everything looked right up until it didn't. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video and to hear Jennifer's story. It means so much to me. So until next time, please remember, the world is a better place with you in it.